place is a delightful relic tangled up with hope, grit, and science.
Never regretted coming out of retirement. Constantly found one. Easy as a needle in the stack.
Hello.
This incident as the second time I've saved you.
It's not a competition, Sam.
Sure it isn't. So there's that time at the asteroid belt, the one on Neon. So, I still owe you 3, Lillian.
4. You always forget that cargo freighter with the explosives.
4. Definitely 4, then.
But, Captain, in all seriousness, your help is appreciated. I'm glad Blake scooped you up when he had the chance. You're a hell of a ranger. Is Cora on board?
Mom!
Oh, babe girl. It's so good to hear your voice.
Can we come over and visit?
Sadly not now, honey. I'm still on the clock.
Crime never sleeps.
At this point, I'd settle for a cat nap. I've been doing good. I managed to even have a social life. Well, a little bit of one.
This has to be one of the signs of the apocalypse.
Remind me again why I was happy to see you, Sam. I can't imagine the chaos if the bad guys didn't know the Rangers weren't down.
I can. It's Neon. And it ain't pretty.
Neon. Remind me again why we led them into the Freestar. And Captain, nice moves. It's good to know my daughter's in good hands.
What about me?
What about you, Sam? I'm kidding. You always said I need to have a better sense of humor.
Forget I ever mentioned that.
Take care.
Ready for touchdown.
would have scanned that too. Questions come to mind. I don't even know where to start. Hello, me. Old-fashioned, huh? Love it. Come and get it. Let's get out there and do something new today, shall we? Okay. Does this place look cleaner than before? Huh. Nah.
Hello there.
Is something amiss? The path the hunter chose could only end one way. I am sorry you had to be the one to do it. and I am sure countless others along the way, with no regard for their lives. The hunter was in this for himself only, amassing power at the cost of all else. The emissary seems more reasonable, I suppose, but... do you believe they have the right to dictate how the artifacts are used? Perhaps. Though, I suppose the hunter is evidence enough of what that can bring. It is all so much to consider. I want you to know that I recognize that you have been forced to make some unbelievable decisions. You are a valued member of Constellation, and an ally. I will trust your judgment and stand by you until the end. I am glad, and I am happy to give it. I know you have much on your mind, so I will not keep you further. But I will be here when you are ready to take on whatever is next.
Getting deja vu here. Huh.
Hello, Captain.
Tracker agent was looking around room for something.
Sidonia may be rough around the edges, but it is utterly monumental for humanity.
Okay. I can see you're serious about helping me. That ore you mined is really gonna bolster our numbers. Oh, that! Oh, nothing to worry about. We do fracking on Mars with subterranean particle detonations. Those announcements are just to let people know when to expect them. Now, you probably felt the rumble when the detonations actually go off. That's all it is. Not too bad, eh? Basically, it's high-tech mining. We use immensely powerful controlled particle detonations deep underground to loosen up subterranean gases and other difficult-to-gather resources so we can harvest them. Sounds way more dangerous than it is. Probably. Actually, it's still pretty dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Yeah, no worries, mate. I can totally see how it'd be odd if you're not used to it. Just sit down, or be sure you're within reach of something to hold on to if the quaking makes you uneasy, and you'll be fine. Not so bad for one of the oldest mines in the settled systems. We struggle with the lack of decent equipment, but we work hard and make up for it. As I'm sure you know, we're responsible for supplying resources to Deimos Star Yards, which in turn is responsible for supplying UC naval vessels. That, among other major projects, makes us one of the United Colony's most important mining operations. The prestige and pay that comes with it almost makes up for being stationed at the arse end of the settled systems in the middle of nowhere. Yep, that's me. Joined up with Deimos when I was just 17 as a mining gopher. Go for this, go for that, you know how it is. I worked hard, proved myself capable, and got the promotion to mining director about 6 years ago, after the old boss retired. Some of the older guys resent me, but I give everyone a lot of leeway as long as they meet their quotas. So that keeps them happy enough. The who's or what's it? Sorry, mate. I've got no idea what you're on about. Sounds made up if you ask me. But then again, maybe the other miners have been inventing some jargon I'm not familiar with. Best to ask around. Great. Now, the next part is a little trickier. Our Director of Mining Operations, Peter Brennan, fired his last assistant over a month ago. Peter's the only one who can approve the order for new equipment, and unfortunately, he's useless without an assistant. I think I've got a surefire way for you to get that job. Then you, as his assistant, can get him to sign off on the approval. You don't think I've tried? Like I said, the guy is literally useless without his assistant. I don't even know if he knows how to actually use a computer. And everything Deimos does is so mired in bureaucracy because of their contracts with the UC. Which means, unfortunately, we need to do all the things by the book if we want them done at all. We just need you to take the job until we get the approval signed. Then you can quit, keep it, or do whatever. It's not as bad as it sounds. Worst case scenario, you may have to go fetch some stuff for him and go over his messages. It'll be easy, I promise. Now hold on, it's not that easy. You'll need to apply for it like anyone else. Head to the Deimos Star Yard's office up in orbit to fill out the application. It's where that job is posted. Come back and see me when you've done that, and we'll talk about how to secure the position for you.
If this is going to involve paperwork, then I have to let you know that suddenly my hands are just useless.
User not found in database. There are currently no messages for you. Just no one.
No matter how long we're gone, it's always good to be back.
Welcome to Deimos Star Yard. If you have business, feel free to dock.
Docking complete.
Captain, hello. I am satisfied to see that you survived your most recent sleep cycle.
Welcome to Deimos.
I wish Deimos was exclusively in...
Deimos is more than a Star Yard. It's a symbol of the UC.
Hardly, you see.
What do we have here? A civilian in my star yard. Deimos prides itself on being the UC's first and last line of defense in space. But we're more than happy to protect and arm bold entrepreneurs that do their business among the stars. Deimos has a starship to fill every need, science vessels and the like. But what we're known for, what we're built for, is combat. Deimos starships have seen more action in more theaters than any of our competitors. History was forged in our star yard, time and time again. So, let's see about getting you a proper ship, one worthy of you. Yes, they are. I flew my longsword in 43 combat missions. It never once failed me. That's what you get with Deimos. Our ships have been battle-tested for decades longer than anyone else. I've had a long and successful military career. Deimos starships have played a major part in it. In fact, I'm sure that if I flew any lesser starship, I probably wouldn't be standing here right now talking to you. That's what Deimos affords you. The confidence to go soaring into the fire, the death, and know that you will make it out alive. Suppose I do in a way. The excitement of barreling towards the enemy in a Deimos is a feeling that can't be replicated. The best decision you've made all year. When you get serious about your spacecraft, come back to Deimos.
Deimos ships are responsible for countless victories. They're a true
No
piece of
other ship
history.
can hold a candle to a Deimos. It's not even close.
Welcome to UC Space. Maintain your current course while we scan your ship's cargo. Scan complete. You're cleared to land.
So, I hear you've been making yourself pretty useful around the ship, Cora.
I have.
engineers pretty much run the lower levels here.
Don't worry. We're gonna make... Trust me. This is the best... Okay. Now we need to ensure you get hired. Basically, we'll need to make sure you're the only choice. To do that, you'll need to get access to the HR terminal in the corporate office upstairs on the main level. If you delete the other applications from the system, you'll be a shoo-in. Believe me, if you knew Tia, you wouldn't worry. I'll be honest, she's so overworked and behind in her tasks that I don't even think she knows there are any applications. That's a good point, though. Once your application is in, I'll ping her and ask her to take a look to see if any applications came in for me. That should get her to finally take a look, see yours, and if all goes well, she'll hire you on the spot. I happen to know that the HR director, Tia, and the other women in the office tend to go to the Broken Spear for happy hour at 5 every evening. That's your window of opportunity. That's the spirit! Believe me, this is gonna help everyone. By the way, the HR password is password spelled backwards, which Tia thinks is pretty clever. She gets talkative during happy hour, and loud. Surprised everyone doesn't know her password, honestly. Anyway, should be pretty easy. Good luck.
Good old Damus Staryard. You won't find anything flashy here, but it'll get you where you need to go.
Sometimes I feel like these mines just run themselves. I like to think that's thanks to me.
At least I've got more than enough work to complete before I can go home.
We got a lot of good stuff here. Come take a look, eh? Hello, welcome to the Sidonia UC Exchange. The best goods, all courtesy of the United Colonies, straight to all of the wonderful UC soldiers, workers, and other citizens. I've got a little of this, a little of that, and maybe a little of some other things you wouldn't expect to find at the UC shop, But that's because I try to provide for everyone here. So, please, browse my stock and let me know what I can get for you, friendo. Ah, yes, it is the accent. I have been asked this before. Do not worry, I take no offense. From a very young age, I spent most of my life among the stars, aboard one ship or another. I picked up many ways of speaking, many languages. Because of this, the way I speak sounds strange to some, but That is the price I pay for knowing all the languages I do. Come, you can say it to me. The UC, my employer, they try to furnish my exchange with plenty, but other planets, they need more, so we need to make do with what we get. But me, I have other ways of getting goods to sell, and so I do. I get a little bit of this and that from here and there, and that is how I provide for you and me. You understand? Do I have any good deals, you say? Friendo, I am full of good deals. My prices may be fixed by UC pencil pushers many worlds away, but I may find ways to work with you. For example, I buy things to refurbish and resell. You bring me these, I give you credits, and we make deals. Oh, friend, you have no idea. You see, not only do I sell goods for the United Colonies, I also need to receive the shipments, stock the shelves, manage the inventory. Why, even now I have this big delivery. Tracking says it is here, but it is clearly not here. I don't see it, do you? The ship is out in the desert of Mars, not where it should be. Ship services tells me they can look at it, but I need my goods soon, and they're taking too long. Please, no. Have you ever dealt with them? I have. Too much bureaucracy, everything takes too long. Some of the goods are perishable. You could do this for me much faster. And you seem better equipped than I to deal with any problems you may find on board. What happened? I don't know. The ship was marked as approaching, then it landed somewhere out there, and that was the last I heard. Did it crash? I hope not. But maybe, yes, it did. That would be terrible. My shipment would be ruined. And the ship's crew. Oh, how tragic. What if? But we must not assume. We must be sure. And we must get my shipment. That is also important. Let's not forget. Or just various crates of supplies. Nothing unusual. You see what I have in stock, yes, friendo? More of that. The people here, they need their supplies. And I need to sell them supplies. And without that shipment, neither can happen, right? You could? Yes? This is what I hoped when we talked. If you go to where the ship was last seen, you could look at it. Find out what happened. Take care of anything on board that shouldn't be there. Pirates, killer robots, heat leeches, whatever. And check the crates to make sure nothing is broken. Then come back to me, so I can send someone to recover the shipment and get to selling. Easy as peasy, as they say.
Sidonia City Security is here to keep you safe. If you see something suspicious, please don't hesitate to report it to any security officer.
Ah, welcome back. Will you tell me the word on my ship? Anything? No rush, but, well, actually, the quicker you find... Take a look. Hey, get you on the flip side.
The Lex condos aren't anything special, but plenty of people call them.
I sure hope this hearing loss isn't permanent.
Don't worry. We're gonna make sure you get that job. Trust me, this is the... And I can say that I've got some good news for you. I just saw the company message go out that you've been hired as Peter's assistant. Congratulations. Not really, and neither should you. Either those applications were old and those people have moved on, or as soon as you disappear after this, they'll get to hiring again. They won't. I'll tell you a little secret. No one really cares too much. I'm not saying anyone's bad at their job, just that everyone's too busy and overworked to care. Seriously, no worries, mate. I've been here long enough to know how they operate up there. Next step should be easy. Just go to work for Peter, and when you get access to his terminal messages, you'll see my request. All you've got to do is approve that request, and we'll be right on with it. Then, we can get that new equipment and show corporate how it's done.
Mast would like to join Sidonia in celebrating
Well
over
now, looky here.
275
It's the
years of
assistant
living
to
on
the
Mars.
executive in
The
charge of
United
mining
Colonies are
operations.
proud to support the citizens of Sidonia.
I hope Peter's not too much trouble. He can be a bit... much.
Have you seen the new Stroud Eklund ship?
Mining must be a fun job, or else why would we keep getting so many applicants? Oh, you're finally back. I feel like you've been gone for ages. Do you know how tough this job is without an assistant? Good. Now, let's make... You look a bit different than I remembered. Did you go to Enhance? No. Now I remember. They told me they sent me someone new. Anyway, they wouldn't say how you did on your application, but they did say no one else was available. Let's hope for the best, shall we? Well, enough chit-chat. Let's get to work. Not, very enthusiastic. Noted. Well, I need something done, and I don't want to go looking for someone to fire you just yet. So, I have a shipment I'm waiting for. Don't know where it is. Last time this happened, my assistant went to speak to the governor. I'm sure he'll help you to get it sorted out. Now, kindly, off with you. What's in the shipment? A good assistant knows it's not their place to ask. Bad assistants get fired. Mediocre assistants get... You know what? I forgot where I was going with this, but it doesn't matter. Just get it for me, will you? Also, I don't quite remember. But it is important, that I know. I could, but we'd be wasting valuable time, so no. Oh, do they cover nothing in orientation anymore? No, strike that. We got rid of orientation, didn't we? Anyway, it's not important. Your job is easy. You do what I ask, and that's pretty much it. I'm surprised you've forgotten that all right, new assistant. I keep forgetting. I don't know. At first I thought I had multiple assistants that rotated in and out, but it seems I've only ever had one at a time and they all just stopped showing up. I believe my last assistant was supposed to get me some coffee, but never came back. I honestly wasn't listening to whatever they were crying about. Yeah.
A reminder that particle detonations can occur beyond the city limits between the hours of 0600 and 1800 local time.
It's not easy living in St.
You simply won't find a politician who works harder for his people than I do. Ah, hello. Welcome. I don't usually have time to speak with random people off the street, but I'd be happy to help if it's something quick. What can I do for you? Something important, huh? Well, lay it out for me. Considering I don't really know you, I'm not sure how to answer that. But Cydonia is a beacon of industry. There's plenty of work to go around. If you have mining experience, you may wish to check with whoever the current Deimos mining director is. Or maybe check with the Deimos Star Yard corporate office. If those aren't your speed, then there are a number of local businesses that are always looking for help. Well, I've been appointed governor, going on 20 years now, I believe. Every day, I am passionate about serving the hard-working people of Mars. I look out for their interests, I support their prosperity, and in return, they help make the United Colonies a shining beacon of hope for humanity. If you ask me, there's nothing better than that. You mean besides being the most important city of industry to our proliferation across the galaxy? Well, this is the home of Deimos Star Yards, which perfected grav drive technology and made honest-to-goodness space travel truly possible. And to this day, our mines and manufacturing are instrumental in delivering resources used throughout the United Colonies. We may not outshine fancier cities like New Atlantis on its surface, but without Cydonia, there would be no United Colonies. Cydonia is not much of a tourist destination, unless you're interested in humanity's first major colony outside of Earth. But if you're not here for work, and you're looking to kill some time, I'm told the Martian surface is great for hiking. Beautiful scenery, assuming you like shades of red. If you're looking to kick back after that and experience Martian nightlife, the Broken Spear is as good a local watering hole as any. Well then, you've been quite busy making a name for yourself, haven't you? Heard of you. Of course, how could I not?
Well, I can see where this is headed.
Wrong? Not exactly. But word does get around, and I like to keep abreast of what goes on in my city. So look, I admire a go-getter like yourself. You're not in trouble unless you make trouble. And I don't think you're the type. I know you're not really Mr. Brennan's assistant. I don't know exactly what you're up to, but I have little reason to suspect you're up to no good. So let's cut to brass tacks. What can I do for you? Word travels fast around Cydonia. It's my business to know these things. Frankly, I'm not worried about you. As long as you play your cards right, it'll stay that way. Oh, I know exactly what happened to that shipment. However, I suspect Mr. Brennan neglected to tell you that I'm holding it due to his immense backlog of unpaid taxes. Then again, he may be unaware. Look, I'll tell you what. I'll release that shipment for you. But I'm going to need a favor first, since you seem to be adept at keeping quiet. See, my personal spacecraft was stolen, likely by Crimson Fleet pirates. I need someone to find it. Then I need that someone to destroy it. Discreetly. I need tight lips on this. Well, this is a tricky situation indeed. Not to get bogged down in details, but assuming this is the work of pirates, it's best to destroy the ship and everybody on board. Makes it cleaner for insurance purposes. Oh, it's a few reasons. I don't want this mired in their process. Also, it's a bit of an embarrassment for a sitting governor to lose a ship, so I'd rather that not get out. I'm sure you understand. Then we have an agreement. I'll send you to the ship's last known location. Remember, not a word of this leaves this room.
The Office of Governor Hurst would like to remind all Sidonia citizens to do their part to keep Sidonia clean.
I heard you helped out. I know he won't give up looking for...
Careful near the railings on the upper levels. It's a long way down.
Am I in your way?
Captain, it is.
Like we've been gone forever.
Hey, friend. Don't mean to bother you. Look, it is good to see someone out here. I've been drifting alone here for 2 days without help. Wait, you on the account? Alright, come on board. I hope you've got some extra ship parts for repairs, because we're going to need it to get this thing back to base.
Pressure normalized, and we're docked.
So, you're a pirate? Please. We know you're not really with the fleet. Word of advice? Learn the lingo before you attempt anything so stupid again. You've got two choices. We need ship parts to repair our busted craft drive. Hand them over along with your ship, and maybe we'll let you leave. Or we dust you and take it anyway. You've got to the count of 20 before I make that choice for you. You mean to parlay? Countdown's over. Consider my curiosity piqued. You're clearly bluffing. No. Hey, I'm not, huh? Could have. Is that it then? But I'll marry your gal. Tell you what, I'm feeling charitable. Just give us the ship parts we need to repair our graft drive so we can get out of here, and I'll let you live. See? There can be honor among thieves.
Can't believe we got paid by that sucker, Hurst. And got
We're lucky you're one of us, and not some shark.
We're lucky you're one of us, and not some shark.
Can't believe we got paid by that sucker Hurst, and got to...
Well, they don't need it now.
Lucky you're one of us, and not some shark.
Last kill was worth more than 20 credits. Next time, I'm not letting it go. Go on, get out of here. No, I wouldn't expect you to understand. We plunder first, kill second. Some of us don't enjoy the killing part unless there's no other way. It can get messy. A clever pirate can get what they want without spilling blood. Call me an enlightened prig. Hurst paid us to take care of his problem. Of course, why destroy a perfectly good ship when we could say we destroyed it and keep the money, right? Unfortunately, by the time we found out the ship was broken down, our backup had already jumped, leaving us dead in the water until they figure it out and come back for us. Oh, her? She was dead when we arrived. Self-inflicted. A shame, because we would have offered to release her at the nearest neutral star station. We may be pirates, but we're not monsters. At least, I'm not. Just because we pulled the fast one on one of the most powerful men in this system? No offense, my friend, but you're small potatoes. I can respect that you're just trying to do a job, and frankly, I like the cut of your jib. Truth is, you've got no reason to trust us, nor we you. But there is more of us than there are of you, so I'm feeling confident in my decision.
Done this 1,000 times. Didn't think this through, huh? Scarred.
Dispatched. Free and clear.
I've been thinking a lot about my early days in Constellation lately. Got me pretty nostalgic, and I started digging in some old things. Just sort of reminiscing. I found some of Irvin's last messages to me and thought I'd listen to them again to hear his voice. No, I apparently read at least a few of these. I just don't remember. It was a difficult time. Oh, sorry, I got ahead of myself there. Remember a bit ago we were talking about Constellation? I've just been thinking about it since. And Irvin, my husband, used to be in Constellation way back when. So my mind jumped to thinking about him. So I was listening to these old messages to hear his voice. It was surreal, honestly. So most of the messages were everyday things. Lots of excitedly written news about biodiversity and plant life. But one thing stood out. In one of his messages, he mentioned this job that he took at a mine shortly before he died. He said something terrible was happening there, but the message was garbled after that. Kind of. I mean, it depends, right? If it's something that's still happening today, then I care. True, but this was different. I recognized this pattern from the war. A portion of the message was encrypted. Well, Vasco helped me decipher it. Turns out the message was from Irvin, and he was begging me to help him. The message was short, but his voice was pained. He was so upset. No, he was frustrated and angry. He said they were going to destroy his name. He said they were going to destroy his life if he didn't leave the planet now. Then he asked me to help clear his name. Said they had a case against him. Oh, he sounded so upset. I know this is probably long done, but I heard his voice. I can't just not look into it. So in this message, Irvin said he was being framed. He said they'll do it again. He asked if Constellation could send more help. Anything else? No, I just thought it was garbled. I just wasn't paying attention. I don't know. Not exactly sure, but he mentioned a court case. So I think there's a paper trail. His former employers had some job he took before he died. I think it was a mining company. It is, but I was thinking about it and, well, it's still wrong, right? So I figured, hey, I can do some sort of a remote investigation here, see what I can find out. There's gotta be a paper trail, right? Now, I happen to have a trustworthy contact who knows a bit about law and owes me a favor. I'd need to pay in advance in case there are any access fees or bribes. That makes sense. Irvin was one of us, after all. You know, hearing Irvin's voice again made me want to help him. Even though I know I can't. Does that make any sense? No, I know I can't. I just don't want whoever hurt him to get away with it. If that's what happened. I appreciate that. It's going to be hard to get some sleep tonight after all this. But the fact that I'm doing something about it might be enough to help. Hopefully poking around in old records doesn't catch the attention of Hephaestus. Well, anyway, I'll let you know if my contact finds anything.
Careful near the railings on the upper level.
Hey, welcome to... How's it going? Can I help you? Oh man, I'm still new here, so I don't know how qualified I am to answer that. We're like this huge network of shipping and trade throughout the known universe. Everyone. Free Stars, UC, even Varun uses us in some capacity. Because I guess we're all about free trade for all. Yo, I wouldn't be surprised if we bought and sold from the Crimson Fleet, right? They pay my salary, so as far as I'm concerned, they're all right in my book. Yo! This dude came in once trying to sell this whack-looking fish or something. It was still alive. He had it in this big plastic bag full of water and everything. Good size, too. I was trying to tell him I didn't know if we took in things like that, but then my boss came over and told me we absolutely did. And I had to process the sale and store the thing. Man, what a pain in the ass that was. Even weirder, someone came in and bought it like right away. The hell's that about, right? Man, sorry, I can't really say that. Really, they told me not to say anything like that because rumors, you know? All I know is that we're running a business here, and I was told to take in all trades and sell whatever we've got. And listen, I'm not gonna worry about anything other than that. Cool. That's what we... See you around.
Well, well, look what the Martian winds blew in. Time is money, love, so if you've got something to say, then say it. I'm in what you might call the Special Liaisons Department. When the TA needs to deal with, let's call them organizations that tend to fly below the radar, that's where I step in. I keep my own hours and the pay is good, so who the hell am I to complain? You bet your arse we do, love. You've got all these dusties crammed into this tin can of a city scrambling to use their profit shares to pay their bills. If they have a thin month in the mines, the credits are still due. So we're here to buy anything and everything people want to sell. And I do mean everything, if you catch my meaning. Not that I'm admitting to anything, of course. Sure. Mission boards where you should go if you're looking for your one-and-done freelance jobs. You'll tend to find them at local watering holes near spaceports, like the Broken Spear here in Sidonia. All right, let me get back to work.
The UC Exchange is a great place to buy your weapons. Just make sure to keep them holstered at all times.
I sure hope you've taken care of our little, problem. Did you, take care of my little problem?
Let the negotiations begin.
I see how you really do have this alleged note, and we're thinking of using it against me. If you're so inclined, I'll take it off your hands instead, and compensate you more than releasing Mr. Brennan's shipment of goods. Then you and I part ways and never speak of this again. Come on, don't make me have to explain. To you? Obviously, that's not a good look. So I had to go where that's not a concern. Hence the pirates, hence you. Got it? Now, about that note. That's what I thought. Don't have anything. And you wouldn't want to risk losing that shipment now, would you? I'm already giving you what you want, per our agreement. Tell you what, here's a little extra to keep you happy. But you should know, if I hear any rumors about this, I'll know exactly who to hold accountable. Don't get greedy. I'm willing to resolve this amicably. I suggest you do the same. So, you do have this alleged note. You know, you're supposed to destroy the ship, not board it. And even though I don't take kindly to blackmail, you're making the right move by agreeing to keep this matter under wraps. The way I figure, no one will believe you without proof anyway now. So this exchange will see to it the real story stays between us. Now take Brennan's package and your compensation and get out of my damn sight. You better not be back here trying to blackmail me again. Enjoy Sidonia.
Do you work for me? It's hard to keep track these days. My shipment. Do you have it? No. Was it difficult? I guess I never thought about it since you... I mean, my previous assistants just showed up with it whenever I asked. Oh, that's nice. Thanks for getting this for me. Now, could you be a pal and get to my computer messages? Oh, they've been piling up while you were gone, and I need you to respond to them for me. Here's my password. Just make sure your replies sound like they're coming from me. I have a reputation to maintain. Have a good one.
I wonder what's taking Hank so long. I hope I didn't make a mistake by letting... I saw! Good work. See? I knew having someone on the inside like that would work out. I've already put in an order for the equipment. I was going to ask you to pick it up for me, but there's a problem. One of my guys, Hank Ferraro, offered to go. I tried to tell him he'd be more useful sticking to his job here, but he insisted, and he was already on his way out before I could stop him. But it shouldn't be taking this long. Just a quick trip to Gagarin and back. I'm concerned. I could use some help with this. I don't know. Maybe he got hit by pirates. Maybe he's out of fuel, drifting. Maybe he just stopped for chunks. Anyway, something's up, and it doesn't seem good. Since you've proven yourself so skilled in so many ways, I was hoping to call on you for it. So, you in? Hank's been a difficult employee, to be honest. More interested in showing off than doing good work. He's aggressive. He starts shit with the other employees. He's often late for work and so on. So this came up and I figured maybe he's trying to turn things around. Even though I was reluctant, I wanted to give him a chance. Now I'm questioning if it was a good idea. Oh, thanks. This is a huge help. You'll be happy to know I actually carved out some of the budget so I can pay you for all of your assistance. We don't currently have much information to go on. I'd suggest checking with Sidonia's ship services over at the starport first. They'd be the last person I know that's seen Hank. It's all I've got without sending you all the way to Gagarin to retrace his steps. Good luck.
Salut. Vous cherchez quelque chose? Hey. Bonjour. Pardon me.
Hey, it's my personal savior. Thanks again for the assist.
Hey, what can I do for you? Got anything you need to... Anything I can help you with? Nothing for us to do. Let's see here. Hank... No one by that name. Oh, wait. Here we go. Henry Farrow. Hank's gotta be his nickname. Yeah, he's been through here. Took his ship and departed. Actually, it looks like he came back into Mars space recently. But he didn't land here at the spaceport. The ship diverted and landed outside the city a ways. Nothing out of the ordinary. Got a ship and left. Tried and failed to get a discount on fueling up. That's about it. I've been doing this job for years, and I can't think of many reasons someone would come in for landing, but divert somewhere else. I've seen people try to offload some sort of contraband that way, but usually they don't do a flyby of the port before doing so. And scans would have picked it up, so I don't know. You're gonna have to ask them yourself, if you manage to track him down, that is. Yeah, something seems off about this. You're probably right that you need to work this out with your boss. Maybe some wires got crossed. Anyway, good luck and good day to you. We'll try to keep an eye out for Hank, in case he leaves. I'm sure you can find something you like.
Deluxe condos aren't anything special, but plenty of people want
I hope I didn't make a mistake by letting Hank go. I wonder what's taking Hank so long. That's a little suspicious. Why would he do that? Moreover, why wouldn't he return with the goods? Something's definitely up. I asked around while you were gone. Some of his co-workers mentioned there's been a little extra, well, Hank lately. In particular, he was cursing up a storm about work and about his co-workers. Said some things that make me think his intentions here were not pure. Anyway, he's not too bright. Maybe he's still here in Sidonia. Check the Broken Spear. He frequently goes there to drink. We need to get to the bottom of this. Well, see if you can get him to admit it first, and if he does, see if you can get it back from him. If he resists, or otherwise won't tell you what we need to know, then we may have to turn him in. I trust that Sidonia security will bust him good, but he may not tell him where our stuff is, so see if you can at least get that out of him first. Hey, I'm not going to tell you how to do your job. I will say that I won't officially tell you to do anything to him. But he's been surly as of late, and always had a weird chip on his shoulder. So if it comes to that, you do what you need to do to protect yourself. Dunno. Hank's kind of a weird guy. He never fit in with the team. Tended to act a little sketchy. Always figured he'd be done after one contract. Guy like Hank? Maybe he's just looking to sell it on the black market and earn an extra paycheck. Can't say for sure. Remember, it's most important that we find out where the equipment is. We can always deal with Hank later. We've got to do it to lose track of it before it gets sold, moved, or worse. And we've got to hope to whatever higher power you believe in that it wasn't jettisoned into space. We've got our work cut out for us. Good luck.
Take your time, and ask me if you need anything. I'm here to help.
These damned New Atlantis terramorphs have thrown my shipping schedule into total chaos.
If you stumble upon any more business opportunities, I do hope you'll think of us.
Am I glad I got this job instead of...
Hey, excuse me.